Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're diving headfirst into the world of gaming handhelds.
Definitely a hot topic right now.
Absolutely. Specifically, all the buzz surrounding Lenovo and whether they are going to launch a handheld gaming device running on SteamOS.
Oh, yeah, lots of rumors flying around about that one.
We've been digging through all sorts of sources for this one.
Yeah.
Tech blogs, gaming news sites, even some insider leaks,
Wow, the whole 9 yards.
all to try and figure out what Lenovo's really up to.
Sounds intriguing.
So before we go any further, I gotta ask, are you familiar with PC gaming handhelds?
Sure, yeah, I mean, the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally,
Right.
it's getting to be quite a crowded market.
It really is.
Yeah.
So let's get right to it. What's got everyone so excited?
Yeah, what's the big deal?
Leaked images. Images of Lenovo's upcoming handheld device, the Legion Go S, and it appears to have a dedicated Steam button.
That's interesting.
And, that little button might not seem like much, but it could mean big things
I see where you're going with this.
because that implies SteamOS,
Right. Valve's Linux-based operating system.
the one that's currently exclusive to the Steam Deck.
Exactly. So if Lenovo is actually adopting SteamOS for their new handheld,
It's a pretty massive shift.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're saying, hey, we think this platform has a real future and we're going to invest in it.
Big statement.
Yeah.
So let's break this down a bit. What does this actually mean for Lenovo? And I think more importantly, for gamers.
Yeah. Is this a good move for them? Or a risky gamble?
Oh,
Well, I think there are definitely some pros and cons to consider.
okay. Lay it on us.
On the plus side, using SteamOS could make it possible for Lenovo to offer a more affordable handheld.
Yep. How so?
Because they wouldn't have to pay for Windows licenses, which are notoriously expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
And they could pass those savings on to you.
Onto the consumer.
Exactly.
I like the sound of that already.
Right.
Okay, so that's one potential advantage. But how about the gaming experience?
Yeah. Does SteamOS actually hold up against Windows?
In terms of performance, and optimization and all that.
Well, generally speaking, SteamOS has this reputation for being leaner than Windows and more focused on gaming.
Oh, interesting.
It's really designed to just squeeze every last bit of performance out of the hardware.
Okay.
So potentially you could see better frame rates,
Mm-hmm.
smoother gameplay, maybe even longer battery life on a SteamOS device compared to a similar Windows device.
Okay. Starting to sound pretty good.
Yeah, it's promising.
Now, where are we going to see this potentially groundbreaking device?
Yeah. Where's the big reveal?
All signs point to CES.
CES,
Makes sense.
the biggest tech event of the year.
Right. It's the perfect stage for Lenovo to show off its new Legion Go lineup.
Yeah, I mean, the timing couldn't be better.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty here.
All right, let's talk specs.
What are we hearing about the specs for this Legion Go S? What's under the hood?
Well, the leaks suggest that the Legion Go S is going for a more compact and affordable approach compared to the original Legion Go.
So the rumors are saying it'll be powered by AMD's Ryzen Z2 series chips,
Okay.
specifically the Z2G APU.
Now, for those of us who aren't, super tech savvy,
Right.
what exactly is an APU?
Basically, it combines the CPU and the graphics processor all into one chip,
Ah, okay.
which is perfect for something compact, like a handheld,
Makes sense.
You get great performance without draining the battery too quickly.
Gotcha. All right, so Z2G APU.
Mm-hmm.
What other specs are we talking about? Screen, RAM?
The rumors say a 1200p IPS screen, which should look pretty sharp,
Yeah,
and 16 GB of RAM, which is pretty generous for a handheld.
definitely.
I mean, that gives you plenty of power for multitasking and running more demanding games.
All right, so the Legion Go S sounds like it could be a real contender in that mid-range market.
Definitely has potential.
But what about its bigger brother, the Legion Go 2?
Yes, the more powerful one.
Any juicy leaks about that one?
Oh, there are always leaks.
Spill the beans.
Well, the Legion Go 2 looks like it's going to be a powerhouse. Rumors are we might see the Ryzen Z2 Extreme chip in there.
No.
Yeah, AMD's top-of-the-line mobile chip. And there's even talk of an OLED screen.
Whoa, an OLED screen on a handheld? That would be incredible.
Yeah, it'd be a huge step up from the original Legion Go's IPS screen.
But here's where things get interesting.
Yeah.
Lenovo seems to be playing both sides here.
How so?
They're partnering with Valve for this potential SteamOS device, but we're also hearing that Microsoft's VP of Xbox gaming devices is going to be at Lenovo's CES event.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
What's going on there?
That's a million-dollar question, isn't it? That's a very intriguing development for sure.
It could mean that Lenovo is planning to offer both Windows and SteamOS versions of their new handhelds.
Yeah, give gamers a choice.
Or maybe there's something else entirely going on.
Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see what Lenovo unveils at CES.
The suspense is killing me.
Yeah.
What do you think? Will they give us that choice between Windows and SteamOS?
It's really hard to say at this point, but the possibility is certainly exciting.
It's a big decision.
Imagine walking into a store and being able to choose the operating system that best suits your needs and your preferences.
Yeah.
Talk about empowering consumers.
I like it.
Yeah.
But before we get too carried away with all the possibilities,
Right.
let's dive into this FPS mode we've been hearing about.
Oh, yeah, FPS mode. This is where things get really wild. Yeah, so what's the deal with this FPS mode? What makes it so special?
Well, from what I've gathered, the leaks suggest that the Legion Go 2 might have this feature where you can actually detach the right controller and use it as a mouse.
Like a separate mouse?
Yeah, specifically for first-person shooters.
Whoa, hold on.
Now imagine that.
So you're saying...
The precision and responsiveness of a mouse, but with the portability of a handheld.
That's a pretty bold claim.
It would be a game changer for competitive FPS players who are always on the move.
Yeah, for sure. But is that even feasible? Detaching a controller and using it as a mouse? That sounds pretty technically challenging.
Yeah, there are definitely some hurdles there for sure. Latency, tracking accuracy, ergonomics.
That's a lot to get right.
But if Lenovo can pull it off...
It would be a major selling point.
Absolutely. It would set the Legion Go 2 apart from the competition, for sure.
It shows that they're not just trying to shrink down a PC and call it a day.
Right.
They're actually rethinking how we interact with games in a mobile environment.
That's the kind of innovation that makes the handheld gaming scene so exciting. You know,
For sure.
it's not just about specs anymore. It's about pushing boundaries and creating new experiences.
Totally agree.
And speaking of pushing boundaries,
Yeah.
what about that OLED screen we were talking about? Is that actually happening?
As far as the leaks go, it seems pretty likely.
Okay.
OLED screens are becoming more and more common in mobile devices these days.
Yeah, I guess so.
And for good reason.
They look amazing.
Deeper blacks, richer colors,
Yeah.
better contrast.
It would be like having a mini OLED TV right there in your hands.
It would be a huge upgrade from the original Legion Go's IPS screen, that's for sure.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture here.
Okay.
If Lenovo gets this SteamOS handheld right,
Yeah.
and truly nails the premium gaming experience, what kind of impact could that have on the whole gaming industry?
Well, I think it could be a real catalyst for change.
In what way?
Well, success breeds imitation, right?
Yeah.
If Lenovo shows that SteamOS can deliver a truly great gaming experience on a handheld, other manufacturers are going to take notice.
Yep.
We could see a whole new wave of SteamOS devices hitting the market.
A whole new wave, huh? And that could lead to a more competitive landscape,
Absolutely.
which is good for us, the consumers.
Always good for consumers.
More choices, better prices, potentially even more innovation.
It's a win-win situation.
It's exciting to think about.
It really is, and it all comes back to that question we posed earlier.
About the future of SteamOS.
Exactly. If it starts gaining more traction with these third-party manufacturers, could it actually challenge Windows as the dominant gaming operating system? What do you think?
That's a tough one. Windows has such a huge head start,
It does.
but SteamOS has some serious advantages.
Like what?
Performance, optimization.
Right.
If more and more gamers experience the benefits of SteamOS on these new handhelds,
Yeah.
it could really shift things in the long run.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
And it's not just about handhelds either, right?
Right.
If SteamOS gets enough momentum, we could see it making its way to desktop PCs.
Imagine that.
A world where gamers have a real alternative to Windows.
The real competitive
Competition drives innovation.
and better gaming experiences for everyone.
It's a future I would love to see.
It's an exciting prospect for sure, but for now, all eyes are on CES 2025.
Yeah, that's where the real story unfolds.
Exactly. CES is where all these rumors and leaks turn into actual products and announcements.
We'll finally see what Lenovo has been cooking up.
Whether these rumors live up to the hype?
Will we see a SteamOS revolution? Will this FPS mode blow us away?
The big questions.
Will the Legion Go 2 be the handheld king?
We'll just have to wait and see.
We'll break it all down for you right here, so stay tuned.
Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it.
But before we wrap things up,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with a thought to ponder.
Okay.
If SteamOS really does become a major force in gaming, how do you think that will change the industry?
It's a big what if.
Lower prices, more experimental games, a whole new way of thinking about game development.
So many possibilities.
Let us know what you think in the comments. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm really curious to see how Lenovo approaches that whole SteamOS versus Windows thing.
Yeah. Are they going to offer both? Focus on one over the other? What's the strategy?
And how will Microsoft react to all of this?
Right. They're not just going to sit back and watch.
It's like we're on the verge of this whole new era for handheld gaming.
Yeah, uncharted territory.
And we have no idea what the landscape is going to look like.
Which is kind of exciting, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the potential for disruption is huge.
Totally agree.
Just think about the impact SteamOS could have if it really takes off.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Lower prices for
more innovation from developers.
Potentially even a power shift in the gaming industry.
It's a whole new ballgame.
It's almost like we're watching the early days of a new console war.
Yeah, I see the comparison.
But instead of Sony versus Microsoft,
right,
it's Windows versus SteamOS.
Who will reign supreme?
Only time will tell.
But you know, it doesn't have to be a winner-take-all situation.
True.
Both platforms could coexist.
Yeah, each catering to different needs and preferences.
Exactly. Like imagine being able to seamlessly move your game library between a Windows PC, a SteamOS handheld, maybe even a cloud gaming service.
Ooh, that's the dream right there.
Total freedom.
Gaming, truly platform agnostic.
I love it.
It's a beautiful vision, but for now, we'll have to see what Lenovo reveals at CES.
The moment of truth.
We'll be there to cover all the breaking news, of course.
You know we will.
Analyze all the announcements.
Gotta break it down for everyone.
And dive deep into all the implications of this potential shakeup.
Can't wait.
So make sure you stick with us to see what happens next in this whole saga of handheld gaming.
It's gonna be a wild ride.
And, of course,
yeah,
don't forget to let us know your thoughts down in the comments.
We love hearing from you guys.
What are you hoping to see from Lenovo at CES?
Are you Team SteamOS?
What does your dream gaming device look like?
Let's have a conversation.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a blast.
And we'll catch you next time.
For more explorations of the ever-evolving world of tech and gaming,